What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged review, and this is going to be my spoiler review for The Irishman. I did my non-spoiler a little bit ago, and I never got to the spoiler. So I wanted to knock this one out real quick. I got a couple of spoiler reviews to do, and then I'm going to get into a lot of recording reactions for music, because I got something else planned with the ABCs of Metal. Going to do part 2. So expect that very soon. But for The Irishman, Martin Scorsese, back directing, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci. I mean, this is Godfather, Casino, Goodfellas, all of it wrapped into one, man. You know it's going to be good. And it was amazing. It really was. It was a very long movie, 3.5 hours. It didn't feel like 3.5 hours to me. Now, there were slow parts to this, especially toward the beginning, but it didn't feel slow to me. It was all character building and world building, and I talk about how, you know, Martin Scorsese is still one of the best at creating what we'll call universes, you know, like the Star Wars universe and all these different places and people that you have to create to establish this entire universe. Well, that's kind of what Martin Scorsese does with gangster movie. He creates all these areas and people and traits, and he's very specific, and I love that. He has an amazing attention to detail when it comes to that stuff. I still talk about, I think it was Timmy Two Times, or was it Johnny Two Times, or whatever his name was, from Goodfellas. You know, he always said everything twice, like, I'm gonna go get the paper. And like, he just had those little things in there that just like connected for some reason. And it's much the same here, except here he's kind of creating the person behind the man, you know, like the motives, the emotion, the the reason that people are doing everything that they're doing. And I thought it was just absolutely phenomenal. And there are moments here that are definitely slow burn, because part of creating that is you have moments in this movie where people are just contemplating and conversating, and so it's not always big spectacle and action. It's, you know, building storyline and building reason, and that's one thing that I really loved about this. Now, of course, this is based on a book that I believe was called I Paint Houses, or something like that, that is based on the actual Robert De Niro character. And so the long and short of this is that, you know, there's always been the mystery about what happened to Jimmy Hoffa, and supposedly this guy actually killed Jimmy Hoffa, and they hid his body, and, you know, that was the end of the story, which you kind of expect that's actually what happened, but it kind of goes into that. So I thought it was very cool. And yes, Robert De Niro plays a hitman who works for kind of Joe Pesci's character, and Al Pacino, who does play Jimmy Hoffa. And at the end, he does in fact kill Jimmy Hoffa, and he does in fact hide the body. And so there's the start of the mystery. So very cool. Joe Pesci's character, he goes to prison for a while, and it was funny because I kind of expected his character to have a big death, and that was one thing that kind of surprised me about this movie. Is it wasn't like Casino, where at the end just there's a bunch of crazy killings. This was just people living out their lives, and eventually lives end. And there was no spectacle to it. They just faded away, which is kind of how life is. And so I thought it was actually very, very smart. It really made you contemplate life, and it made you contemplate choices in life. And that was one thing that I really loved about this movie. And it was just kind of the same thing with Robert De Niro's character. You know, the final shot was him in a nursing home. He's old. He's not able to take care of himself, obviously, and you just see him fading away and remembering everything that happened throughout his life, and him trying to tell his story. I thought it was a very smart way to go about it, man. It was absolutely true to life and just beautifully done. So, I mean, you had a few moments there where there were hits, and, you know, there was action, and that stuff was great. But what I really loved about this was just the story of a man, his life, to the end. Um, absolutely amazing, in my opinion. Like Netflix really grabbed a good one here, especially now since we know that there are so many Oscar nominations. I think there's 10 for The Irishman, 10 Oscar nominations, plus Golden Globe nominations. I don't know if they won anything at Golden Globes. I don't quite remember. But I'm really looking forward to the Oscars this year for a couple of reasons, and The Irishman being one of them. I think that Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro are both up for, or maybe it's Al Pacino that's up for Best Supporting Actor. Joe Pesci and Robert De Niro. And I love De Niro's performance here. I really did. It kind of goes without saying that I really loved everybody's performance here. Ray Romano was a surprise to me. I thought he was phenomenal. Robert De Niro, obviously amazing. Joe Pesci, completely amazing. Completely believable. I've always said that Joe Pesci plays a great gangster in these roles. Like, he just has this hard-ass exterior that really it's just captured so well on screen, and it makes you believe that he could be one of these guys. So the acting top notch all the way through. There were some very beautiful shots in here, and that's one thing that Martin Scorsese's always been very, very good at. He creates these amazing shots that are very slow. He takes his time. He doesn't try to rush everything. He lets people take in a scenery or a feeling or a conversation or somebody sitting there thinking about something. And I love that. So I already gave this, oh God, I want to say I gave it a 9. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe I gave this a 10 out of 10. I don't remember exactly what it was, but looking back at it, I really feel strongly about this movie. I feel like it's at least a 9, if not a 10 out of 10. It was that damn good. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is my spoiler review. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot to spoil to it, but I wanted to talk about it like that. And just felt like it was as Scorsese as it gets, man. He's had some criticism over his comments about Marvel movies, but I kind of understand where he's coming from now. I do kind of also understand the other side of that, which, it's just a different thing now. But either way, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz, Kaged Nation, out.